All right. Finally back. It's been like 3 weeks. You guys have been fucking asking for it. Hey, Ben, can you come over here and look in this phone and make sure that the shot looks decent? I didn't fuck this whole deal up. Please. Guest appearance, Ben Gass. You're the man. Thank you, Ben. All right. I'm sorry. It's been 3 weeks. I had a lot of shit going on. Fucking sick babies, lots of travel, all the shit, right? But here we are. I got Derek Mota, good friend of mine. We just had his car in the dyno. Derek, it's going to be weird saying the same name.
I know.
As me, right? So I'm just going to call him Mota from now on, right? Mota has the orange Fox body, small block Ford DeSoma deal, ran PDRA all last year, ran PDRA all the year before, taking a year off of PDRA this year.
Yep.
Because you're trying to be an adult.
Trying to be an adult.
Right. So let's talk about it. So what's going on?
Same old. Promised the wife a house this year, so we decided to take the year off, just do a bunch of local stuff, and, you know, that's it. And then next year, hopefully, if the class is still there or we find maybe some radial stuff that we're going to do, we'll go back to that.
Yep. So you're located where?
Boston, Mass. Well, just north of Boston, Peabody, Mass.
Yep.
So own a shop up there. Used to do a bunch of race car stuff, kind of flipped over to the fleet maintenance and the general repair stuff and got away from the race car stuff, do my own thing now. And that's about it. And just love race cars. Been racing since I was 14. Been at New England Dragways, my home track. Started off as a 950 car, 850 car, X275 car. You know, now we are where we are.
Yep. What, it was a nitrous deal before, right?
It was all nitrous before, from pretty much the day I built the car. And now that I've met Miller, we switched over to turbos and did all that stuff. And we've been with turbos 5 years now. Been with Harts for 2. They take great care of us, do unbelievable things with them. And that's it. Now it's on to the next thing, whether it's LDR like we were talking about earlier or back to X275. Just doing something different.
I've been saying it for years, dude. I'd love to see that thing in fucking LDR.
I know everybody would. It's you know, it's a lot of work. You know, the travel time is crazy.
Yeah.
Just buying the house, you know, trying to get married, doing the adult life. So it's difficult.
Yeah, it's a lot. So you said that you took a step back from the race car thing. Probably a lot more lucrative not to be in the race car deal, huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of work when you buy a house. You know, you just got another one. So trying to get the backyard done, interior done. So, but, you know, I love racing. I'll never give it up. That's why we're going to stick local. Try to do Maryland this year, do Yellow Bullet, couple fast stuff, and then my local series. And then next year we'll probably come back full force on it.
Yeah. Talk to me about how PDRA went for you last year. Well, let's talk about the car, right? Let's talk about the car real quick because that fucking car, I love that car. That car's been on the dyno, I don't know, 6 or 7 times.
Half a dozen times,
right?
easy. We've
done a bunch of turbo testing. We've tried. Oh, do you remember? Do you remember the hot side?
Oh God, how can I forget it,
dude? Remind me of exactly what was going on. We had 2 primaries off of each bank that were zoomies, and 2 primaries off of each bank going to the turbo.
Oh yeah. So I get a phone call from Miller. And he says, "I think I got something that might work." He says, "You want to build a new exhaust?" I said, "Yeah, sure. What are we doing?" Thinking like, you know, switching the size of the hot side. Right. No, he says he wants to build a half zoomy, half turbo deal. So I'm like, sick, right? Like, I love building shit.
Right.
So I started. We finished it up, I think, that morning, like 1 a.m. Miller's literally sitting at the airport, sending me tunes, trying to get it to spool, and we couldn't get it to spool.
Right.
So we're thinking too big of a turbo, so Dustin sent us out a bunch of stuff to try.
Dustin from Harts.
Yep, nothing. So like, all right, cool. Put it aside for a minute. Then we came back here for turbo testing. So we decided to bring it. And obviously you were here. We tried everything with it. So it's just a work in progress. I mean, I'm sure we'll venture back to it with a camshaft change or something.
Right. Well, I mean, so like when you're talking about class turbos, right, it always boils down to back pressure, right?
Correct.
So our theory, right, and me and Jamie love talking about some weird shit like this, right? But our theory was if we found a way to alleviate back pressure, right, but still be able to keep the shaft speed up on the turbo, we would be able to make more power with these class turbos. I guess the same theory could be said about just putting a smaller motor in it, right? Which is why you're seeing all these cars going to the smaller motors, right?
Yep.
So we, him and Jamie came up with this idea, but I definitely co-signed on it, right? Because I thought it was going to work. I don't know if I thought it was going to work, but I definitely wanted to see it try, right? Where, like I said, 2 of the primaries off of each side were legitimate zoomies. And then 2 of the primaries went to the collector. Yes. But we couldn't really ever get it sorted out.
Nope. It would do everything but spool.
Right.
And, I mean, Miller came up the shop. He helped me start building them, and then he left. And, like I said, it was the baddest idea. Like, when we looked at it and it was done, we're like, dude, this is sick.
It was sick.
It's going to make all kinds of power.
Right.
And it was a flop.
Yeah.
But we'll re-enter it. We'll come back to it, and maybe a camshaft change, or, now with Dustin with the new technology at Harts, like, you might find something with a wheel that we could try.
Right.
But, we'll get back to it.
Yeah. Yeah, it was definitely a cool concept. But so as the car sits right now, how does it sit right now?
Right now it's set up in grudge. So we pulled 450 pounds of ballast out of it. We just tried that new Gangster 88. Obviously, we got screwed by UPS and the hot side didn't show up. So we were limited to what we could do today.
Can we talk about numbers?
You can talk about numbers. I mean, everybody knows the car. It lights the bullets. I'm not worried about it.
So the car has always, it's been on an 85. It's been on an 88.
Been on an 80.
Been on an 80. And it always hovers around 1,900 horsepower. We never really try to go for it on the dyno. I never try to go for it personally ever, no matter what. And then we never really tried to kill this thing on the dyno to begin with, right? But it always ends up around 1,900. So he comes here with this Gangster 88.
88.
Which is what exactly? Because you keep saying this term to me, but I don't know what it means.
So Dustin clipped the front wheel and opened up the surge slots to make more air inlet. So supposedly the Gangster will make 2,600 on a small block.
Right.
He sent out an AR that they had tested. They knew it was good, but then found improvements. So we next day had us one, which obviously we know UPS fucked that up, and it didn't make it today.
Right.
So obviously at 34 pounds of boost, it was making 85, 86 pounds of back pressure.
Right.
So we said, all right, let's not kill this thing. Let's just stop there.
Right.
Got all the individuals happy. I mean, what do we end up making? 2133?
Yeah.
Somewhere in there. Car makes unbelievable power. So,
I had 2 people hit me up today asking me if it broke the small block record.
And if we got the housing, we probably would have.
Yeah, if we can get so it was on like 32 pounds it made
2,087.
Yeah, 2,100, and then it really, we struggled to make more boost, we struggled to make more power, but it like Mota was saying, it just got crammed with back pressure.
Yeah. So it does have a 115 on it, but it's got the 113 wheel. So obviously we knew the 115 would be small, but like everyone, we were worried about spooling the car.
Right.
But as you saw on the dyno today, that thing just don't care.
No, it fucking hammers, dude.
Yeah.
That thing's wild.
So we'll get the new AR, and we might come back and break that record, but for right now, we stopped because no need to hurt the motor over something we know we got to change.
Right. And talk to me about the motor, because it's my favorite motor on the face of the earth.
Oh, so, it's the Somas small block Ford 9.5 deck deal, 434 inches.
Love to hear it.
Just had put the new SC2 from MBE from Matt. Great head. We've had great success with it. Jared Thompson does our intake. Harts is our turbo. So, I mean, it's one of the baddest small blocks out there. And, I mean, better than anybody, we put laps on that car.
Oh, yeah.
We don't go out and run 3-4 times a year. We'll put 150 runs on that thing a year. Never freshen the motor.
Right.
Basic maintenance, check rods, bearings, maybe roll a bearing in here or there. Other than that motor is flawless. And obviously a lot of that goes to Jamie with the tuning.
Right.
I mean, knock on wood, we've never hurt the motor.
Right.
Never burnt it up. So, yeah, that's it. I mean, it's one of the bad small block Fords around here.
I would say it's one of the baddest small block Fords. And between me and Jamie, I mean, we've got, your car has one. Tommy, which is in the background right now, has the same motor. And I don't know if Tyler Dommel's got one, and I have another customer putting one together. But there's a handful of cars that have this exact combo from DeSoma specifically, and they fucking run.
They fly.
Yeah, they're sick.
The best thing I love about the motors, like I said, we hammer that thing.
Yep.
Like, we're not easy on it. We run that thing day in, day out. We're testing constantly, trying new stuff. I mean, here at the dyno, even we took a worn-out motor, end of last year, tested 6 turbos for 2 days.
Right.
And I mean, that thing, it never skips a beat.
Dude, when Mota brings me his car to the dyno, we don't even use the boost controller. We literally, and this is not an exaggeration, we take a piece of tubing and we bypass the controller and we just put 50, 70, 100, 150 from the regulator of the CO2, no boost controller, and we just fucking let it fly.
Yep.
Right? And we've been doing that to this car for years.
5, 6 years.
Yeah,
now, yeah.
It's been sick. So you're coming off a decent season of PDRA. You hold the record, right?
Yeah, we've reset that record 4 or 5 times now, 3 times in the same event. We hold the mile an hour record and the ET record. But, you know, the weights were getting crazy. Like, we spent a lot of time R&D and stuff, and you've been here, tested, 5, 6 turbos at a time, converters,
right,
gear sets. I mean, we've changed everything, and we've always succeeded. I mean, me and Miller have put endless hours into this thing, and we come out and we fly, and then we get penalized for it.
Right.
And I just, it was getting old. I mean, now this year we would have to be 3,400 pounds. So I have 600 pounds of ballast in the car to get there.
Right.
So, it was just getting annoying. Every time we did good, every time we figured it out, spent the money to accommodate for the weight that we got, it just got worse and worse.
Right.
So, this year I was already planning on taking the year off because of the house and everything. So, I mean, it's just, now I look at the class and it's like, man, like, they really hurt the boosted combos.
Oh, yeah. The boosted combos got the shit kicked out of them. I said it from the beginning. I really thought that they, instead of all of the weight, they should have taken the turbo away.
Right. Me and you have talked about this 1,000 times. Right. Instead of killing us with the weight, carrying it, making it harder for us to 60 foot, just limit our turbo back down to that 80.
I think it should get an Ultra Street 76. I've been saying it for fucking years.
Listen, just because you're a nitrous guy, that's not fair.
Listen, I'm a big nitrous guy, but think about it. Ultra, at this point, with that 76, they're going, what, 30s?
The problem is the cubic inch of the motor.
I get it.
It's very hard on a 103 wheel and a small turbo with
right,
a 434-inch motor.
Right.
You see the back pressures on this thing. It's just crazy. We'd be burning shit up for no reason.
And it kills. When you run back pressure like that for that long, it kills them.
So our world record passed the 449. We were at 110 pounds of back pressure, 40 pounds boost.
Yeah.
So it was, it started. We saw the skirts when DeSomar redid the motor, and it was beating up the skirts because the cylinder's so hot. So it's like, how much more can you push it to hurt motors to win $3,500?
Right. Yeah, the PDRA thing, it definitely, the Super Street thing specifically definitely needs a lot of work.
It does. I mean, I love it as an event. I love it as a home. I mean, we made great friends with guys down there, Lou that you tune with, Dave Knight, all the guys, Dan Wetstein. We all had fun. Like at night, we'd hang out, party, grill. Like it was great. I love the environment. The rule set, they need to do something with.
Yeah.
Whether they limit the turbo, we can't carry this much weight.
No.
And that small tire on a 100+ degree track, which you have 4 out of the 6 races or 7 races, we get smoked.
Right.
Like it's just too hard to get the car moving.
Yeah.
So
well, like the thing that I keep hanging my hat on is like, dude, your car, the turbo cars will put 10 mile an hour on the rest of the field, right?
Not all of them.
No, but I'm saying typically David Knight right now is going 170 mile an hour, right?
Yeah, somewhere in there.
Right, and that's what you guys were going, right?
167 is the record.
Maybe David wasn't going 170. Maybe
I think it's been 158.
All right, so maybe I saw him go 160.
Yeah.
All right, so
probably somewhere in there.
Maybe I'm all fucked up on that.
You probably are fucked. You're a fucked up dude.
I am fucked up. It's hard for me to keep this all straight, honestly. Miller's a fucking machine, bro. That dude, he can recall information and specifics. I can't hang with that.
Yeah.
Like, I need notes.
He's a machine all around. I mean, I've known Jamie now, so let's touch on this. Okay, so I've known Jamie since I've been, maybe in my 20s, right? I'm 42 now, so I've known him 20 plus years. And he has treated me, even when I was not working with him, he's always treated me like unbelievable. I call him up, pick his brain about chassis setups, this, that. When I finally was able to afford to have him come on board, I mean, the things that me and him have done together since we've built this car has been, 5 Ironmen, World Cup, and another car that I drove for Manny Majinga, but Jamie tuned, me and Jamie there doing it together. We have had some serious success, and I owe it all to him, my team, my sponsors, everybody involved. You know what I mean? Right. This is not a one-man operation, no matter how many people think it is.
Right. But as far as the PDRA stuff goes, like all I was saying was like, if you were to take if you were to get your mile an hour more in line with the nitrous mile an hour, right, and took away turbo.
But we agree that the turbo cars are always going to out mile an hour. I mean, even when we ran the 80, we ran 164 with that 80.
Right.
The motor will always out mile an hour the nitrous stuff.
Right.
We know that. But now they can out 60 foot us. We go 117, I think, was our best there, where they go 110.
Right.
So it all equals out. But now with the weights, like if we don't have that mile an hour on them, like the nitrous cars go 158, 159.
Right.
So we don't have that big mile an hour on them anymore.
Yeah.
So if they out 60 foot us by 7 numbers, we can't make it up.
Yeah, you can't make it up. Yeah, man. There's one thing in this world that I don't want to do, and it's fucking make rules for a class.
Oh, I can't even imagine how that is.
Right. So I am sympathetic to it. Right. But, and it's always one of those situations where, like, I tune a nitrous car, right? I tune specifically a big block, single kit nitrous car, right? So then I see these small block cars, 60 footing, 111. And I'm like, we need to change the rules, you know what I mean? And then, you're like 3,300 pounds and you're like, we need to change the fucking rules, right? So it's always biased, right?
Right.
But so I don't know, man. I don't have a good answer for it.
I mean, the thing that got me is we always adapted to the situation.
Right.
We would go out, we'd change converters, try status, try this, go up local track, test before. It'd always come out and have a good hot rod. We did get on a struggle bus for about 3 races last year where we broke the diode of the converter. Mm-hmm. We figured it out going into the finals. I'd ordered a bunch of stuff from Marty, Neil Chance Racing Converters, one of my sponsors, unbelievable guy. He next day had everything in, and we put it in. And we go out, and that first thing goes 55 first run. Mm-hmm. And then from there, it was just, Miller just had that thing on rails.
Right.
So we went 55, which set the record, 54 that backed it up, and then a 50 flat in Q1 to set the record again, and then a 49 to set the record again.
Right.
All in the same race.
Yeah, we weren't touching that.
Yeah.
Oh, my car was out. We fucking sent the pistons into orbit.
Oh, yeah, you fucked that one up. I forgot about that.
Yeah. We, well, come to find out, if you pedal a 50 jet,
it doesn't work. When
you pedal 2,500 pounds of nitrous, the pistons don't stay in the motor.
No, probably not.
No. So we found that out the hard way. But you never won a championship.
No.
Why? Because you were the fastest car.
We were. So the first year that we started PDRA, we came out with a GTO. Another sick car, right?
Hot rod, dude.
Hot rod.
That thing is fucking sick. Pontiac motor.
Yep, Pontiac motor, BES. Tony Bischoff did it for us. Dave Mancini was the owner. I built the car with him. Come out, win the first one, right? Sick. Car's flying, one of the fastest cars of the class. We go to Ohio. It decides it's going to break the crankshaft in half. Brand new motor. So my car wasn't ready because I had already planned to drive the GTO for the year. So we had to miss, I think, 1, maybe 2 races to get my car finished.
Right.
Then we came out, I think it was back in
and
South Carolina.
That was the old setup. That was SC1 headed.
That was old school Ford SC1s, not the Edelbrocks. Old school. So we come out with that thing the first race, and we came out and just devastated everybody's life.
No shit.
We rolled off the trailer with a 69 right off the trailer.
Which at the time was like...
Flying, right?
Flying.
1 or 2 cars have been in the 60s.
Right.
By the end of that race, I think we went a 62. So we come out, we win that one, hands down. Number 1 qualifier, win the whole thing, fastest car, blah, blah, blah.
Do you remember what you had to weigh at that point?
We were 3150. I think it was the same as X275 rules at the time.
Yep.
So we were still 3150.
3150 with an 88.
Nope, we had the 85 on it for the weight break.
Got it.
So went into the second to last race. I think that one was it Galot? Where were we that one?
The second.
No, it was Galot.
Yeah, it was Galot.
Yes. So we came to Galot. We won that one. We were out. I think we were at 61 or 62 there. Go to the finals. We end up going a 57. Okay, the last race of Virginia.
Right.
So topped off, last 3 races, never lost a round, number 1 qualifier at every race, and set the world record at every race. So we come into 2025. Or
wait. And that didn't win you the championship?
No, because we had missed the 2 races, so Blake Denton got it by, I want to say it was like 80 points, 71 round.
Oh, okay.
So it was horrible, you know? And so we said, okay, next year, right? We'll have this car done, the hot rod will be back.
Yep.
Came out. Got there with all the new weight. I think they put 150 pounds on us. Mm-hmm. Car still went out and flew, but we had converter issues.
Oh, just so you know, let's back up. The first year that you're talking about, the first year I tuned for Shallow.
Yes.
The first race, we met you in the finals, which was the furthest he had ever been in Super Street.
In Super Street.
Right?
Do you want to tell everyone how that went for
Dude,
you?
we went to the finals. Yeah, I'll tell him. And this is why the fucking rules need to change, all right? We, 60 foot, and we had like 4 numbers on you to the 60 foot. We only had like 1 number on him on the at the 330. And then he beat us by fucking 10 mile an hour out the back, dude. And I just told Lou, I'm like, we were never gonna catch that. We did everything we had to do.
Right. Made the fastest pass I think that car had been at the time, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And there was just no more horsepower. I'm like, Lou, the owner of the car, I'm like, it is what we don't have 10 mile an hour. That's like 300 more horsepower.
Yeah, so that was a good year. Then we went into 24, ready to go the first race.
Yep.
Ran it with the new weight, found out the converter was too loose.
Yep.
So I think we ended up running up at that race. Came out second race with the new stator, everything new, reset the world record. I think we went at 56.
Okay.
And 57 was the current world record. So we reset the world record then with the new stator, and then all of a sudden this thing gets on a struggle bus. For the next 3 races, we're fighting everything. We're changing everything, and it ends up being a $50 diode.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, it's the hardest thing to pinpoint because you look at the data, some runs it works fine, the next run the thing don't want to leave the starting line. And we did. We got on a struggle bus, but we never quit, and we tried, and finally, after looking over hundreds of logs of data, we finally said, dude, there's something going on in this converter or the tranny. So I pulled the diode out, sure as shit, it was broken. So it's just a ratcheting, and it just would slip. And sometimes it would be loose, sometimes it would be tight, and it was throwing Miller's tune-ups all over the place.
Right.
So that's when we ordered all the new stuff, and then we came into, Virginia again this year, and we just came out swinging like we always do. 55, 54, 50 flat. I mean, and then...
This is at the end of 2024 you're talking about?
Yes.
Yeah.
We end up with... who was it? Brad McBride with the Volkswagen in the final. We go through this whole thing, right? Number 1 qualifier, reset the world record, all the way to the finals, and we don't know. We took 1 whole limiter away from the car. The sun was starting to go down. We said, oh, man, we don't want to wheelie, so let's take 1 out. So it goes out, and it starts shaking the tire, and I'm driving this thing wall to center line, trying to get it down there. I think we lost by 1/10,000. It was the closest race of the whole event.
Against McBride?
Against McBride and the Volkswagen.
You can't be mad at that.
You can't. Love the guy. He's the nicest guy there. You know, the car was on the roof 2 races before that.
Right. Yeah, he rebodied the thing.
Right. So you can't be mad at it. And I'm honestly less mad because if I had won the race, I would have lost the championship by 6 points. So
no shit.
Losing to him, I think we lost by 80 again or something. One round.
You couldn't have won that.
No. It was impossible. When Dan got the broke by in the first round, it locked up the championship.
Wait, I thought Dan won that championship.
He did.
He did.
So the first round, if he didn't make first round, we would have had a chance. But he had a broke by, and he made the round, so that locked it up for him. And then he ended up breaking the blower, and he was out.
Got it.
So when we did the points, we were like, well, if we win the whole thing, we're going to lose the whole championship by 6 points. So probably would have been a little more heart-wrenching.
Right.
So, and then... and then this year, like I said, we're just taking it off. I bought the house for my dad. A bunch of stuff going on, a lot of yard work I sent you pictures of, but now we're ready to get the hot rod back.
And what do you, so you transitioned from doing race car full-time for a job.
For a living.
And now what are you doing?
Now I do all like general contract stuff, like general repairs.
Right.
I have a bunch of fleet companies. I got in with the post office. I got 1 big account with them. A bunch of fleet managing with a couple shops that are around here, and just all general maintenance stuff that's in and out, pays the bills fast, and it's always generating money.
Let me ask you this. If it wasn't for the money, which one would you rather do?
The general repair.
Why?
Race car customers are too much of a pain in the ass.
Yeah, you're talking about my life right now, brother.
Yes. Everybody wants it tomorrow, and everybody wants it for nothing.
Yeah.
And that's up here is a lot different. If I was down south, I'd probably say race cars. But up here, it's a lot different.
You think so? I think it's the other way around.
Well, Connecticut's probably different than Mass, too. Remember, I'm up in Mass.
Why do you say that?
Because it's a different breed up there. It's the same thing as everywhere. Like, okay, so my thing, I would pay roughly $40, $50 a bend for a piece of pipe, right, to build a set of headers.
Okay, yeah.
So say you spend $2,500 on materials to build a custom set of headers.
Okay.
So $5,000, right? So another $2,000 in labor because you got 20 hours, 30 hours into these things.
Yeah.
And we're cheap. We're $100 an hour. So you would build a set of headers, and then the guy would go, well, why so much? Well, what do you mean, why so much? So everybody wanted everything for nothing. So you can only do that so many times. You give the guy a discount. Well, at some point, you start going backwards in business because you're paying for all this stuff. You're putting all the labor in, but you're not getting paid for it. So I kind of just washed my hands with it, and I'm much happier now. I love working on my car again because when you work on them all day, the last thing you want to do is stay all night and work on
It's literally the reason I don't have a car.
Right.
Because I work on these things all day, every day. Phone calls all night, every night, right? And I don't want to do it for recreation.
You couldn't do a dyno session like we just did and then come have a fun podcast. You'd have to work on your car.
Yeah.
It'd suck.
Dude, like so this Chevy 2 behind us, I got to put on the dyno, right? It's a good friend of mine. So part of me, like I feel as if it is like my car, right? Because it's just like my homie, right? So he's like, just put it on the dyno whenever you can, right? And I'm like, damn. Like I don't want to roll it back and do it right now after working on your car all day. It's just not fun.
You worked?
Well, I mean, I like hit some buttons and stuff.
You hit the stop button.
I hit the start button.
Throttle pedal.
It is nice, dude. I got to be honest with you. Like, you know, when Miller brings a car here, dude, my mind, it's so nice for me, right? I always learn something, right? Whether it be from you or from him, right?
Yep.
And then I don't have to stress of actually tuning it.
Right.
We'll bounce ideas. He don't need me. He taught me. Right. You know what I mean? Like, he don't need me. But like, generally speaking, he don't need me. And I'm just hanging out.
Right.
And it is beautiful.
But I think that goes for all of us. Like when we're here, knock on wood, we've had how many dyno sessions? Flawless.
Yeah.
Right. So you come in, we get to laugh, we get to shoot the shit, we get to go to lunch, and we're not thrashing on the car. The most we're doing is letting it cool down and pulling spark plugs.
Yeah, maybe checking the valves.
Right. Run the valves here and there. But other than that, yeah. I mean, and we all learn stuff.
Right.
So, and there is something we talked about off this that you wanted to know about, and that was how I got a Civic.
Oh,
so nobody will ever believe this.
Okay. Well, first of all, just know that Jamie's probably going to disown us for talking about this.
He's probably going to stop tuning for me.
Right, right. But go ahead. Let it rip, Tater Chip.
So my first car was obviously an 89 Mustang.
Let's back up. So, you know, everybody likes to bring up the fact that I used to be into Hondas, right?
Yeah.
And then, you know, so then I hear shit from everybody else, right? Like, we don't want to hear about the Hondas. And I'm like, I don't really want to fucking talk about them either, right? But I'm not bringing them up, right? Everybody else is. And then Mota, out of left field, the last human being I would have ever have thought that would have been into Hondas calls me, and he's like, you know, I had a Civic back in the day. And I'm like, dude, what? So let me hear it.
All right. So my first car was an 89 Mustang LX.
Yeah, of course.
So then I got a job a little bit further away from where I was living. So obviously I said, I'm going to get a Civic for gas mileage.
For gas mileage.
Forget. Well, then the Fast and Furious came out, right? So everybody's doing this shit.
Oh, so we're legit talking about 2001.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
It was a 2001 Civic.
Oh, you bought a brand new?
Brand new.
Oh,
so,
dang.
Cruising, good gas mileage.
You got money.
Oh. So then the movie comes out. You know, I'm like, well, I'm a race car guy, right? I can make anything fast.
Yeah, you're badass, right? Yeah.
Well, that didn't work out. No. So the Civic didn't last long, maybe 6 months, and then I junked it, right? Just sold it.
Part of me wants to ask you specifics about the Civic, but let's just move on.
Yeah, move on. Just know I said I would never admit that to anybody, but now it's out. So
was it a 2001 SI?
No.
Okay. All right. Yeah, it's gay as fuck.
Gay as fuck.
Yeah. Right. All right. So. But now here you are with Mustangs.
All Mustangs. So that's where the whole thing started. And I got back into the Mustang, and then I ended up buying a Boss 302. And the funny part is, so this car, my best friend bought it, the orange one. Now,
yeah,
my best friend bought it. Okay, we had it for years. I did all the work to it, everything. Another good friend of ours bought it from him. That ended up my brother buying from him, and then I ended up with it from my brother. So this car has been pretty much in the loop of our friends up there for years. Now I've owned it 8 or 10 years, somewhere in there.
Oh, I thought you've had it longer than that. So you went through all those setups in 8 to 10 years?
Yeah.
No shit.
Yep. Started off as a 302 Nitrous deal.
Who made it ladder bar?
John Sandel. So
before you got it?
Nope. I had John. So if you ask John, this is the funniest part. So he owns Tube Chassis Design, does all my chassis stuff. So I call him up one day. I said, hey, I just bought this car. I just want to throw an 850 cage in it just in case I want to bring it to the track. I had a 408 stroker in it at the time. I said, I might want to run it. So now when I send the car back to him, it's obviously 25.3, full everything. So he always says to me, hey, thought you just were putting a cage in this car.
Yeah.
And we all know how it turns out. Street car to full-blown race car.
Right.
And but I love this car. So I've had it for, 8-10 years now.
It's a good car. And that car specifically reminds me that, because ladder bars are good, right?
Well, it depends who you ask.
I don't know, dude. When you get a set of ladder bars right, the thing about ladder bars is that they're only good when they're made good up front. Like, you can take almost any 4-lane car, assuming it has like a reasonable 4-link in it,
decent stuff,
like a 19-inch bar. You know what I mean? Something in the wheelhouse of like a good 4-link, and you can make it work.
Yeah.
Right. But a ladder bar, if you fuck it up from the beginning, it's a pile of shit. But if you get it right, it's good everywhere.
Works. So, I mean, the Vikings, okay?
Dude, holy shit. I forgot about the Vikings.
Okay. So, that car has been 104, 424, to 170 on a set of $100 shocks. You know what I mean? At the best.
Right.
I think we hold the world record for it. I'd have to check with Viking to see if anybody broke it, but I'm pretty sure we hold the world record with it. And then, Miller, he never let me live this down.
Right.
Mensa. Then all of a sudden the thing goes out and it's going faster and faster. And he's like, damn, almost converted him to Vikings. Didn't happen. So obviously today we got a set of the Mensa Miller Motorsports ones in the car, the Red Hat Mafia edition.
Yep.
And now that we'll get back on a radio, I think we need to see how fast we can get a ladder bar car to go.
It's crazy, right? Because you were highly successful in PDRA with a slick.
On a ladder bar.
And
highly successful in radio racing.
Right. On a ladder bar. On the same ladder bars.
And this was when I barely knew about chassis, right? Ladder bar was just very easy. You couldn't get lost. It was one hole up or down, pinion angle, like very simple.
Done deal.
Obviously, when I started learning from Miller more about the chassis stuff, we found some stuff wrong with the pinion angle, not being able to get it up. So he built me a set of custom ladder bars. We put those in, and that's when we really started seeing the car come around. And like you said, you get the ladder bar right, it's fast.
It's fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it works on every surface.
Yeah.
Radial, no prep. I mean, we've been to MPK with it. We've won multiple MPKs with it. Radial raced with it, and PDRA raced with it.
How long are they?
32 inches.
Is that long for a ladder bar?
Not really. People will run 36s.
How long do you think the Vincent's ladder bars are?
I would say he has a 36-inch ladder bar.
Oh, I would say it's longer than that.
You think so?
Dude, I saw a picture of it doing a wheelie one day. Not one day. It's literally on the internet. But I feel like they're like 40-something inches. Dude, they're like underneath the driver's seat.
Oh, Jesus.
But it makes sense, right? Because, that car's been on slicks forever. And, he squats that thing.
Which is very weird because no matter how much we try to squat mine, it always wants to separate.
Well, and that's why I'm saying I think he's got a really long ladder bar.
Yep.
And it's super low. I think the front of that ladder bar is super on the ground.
Well, you see how the car sits. I mean, that thing sits gangsta.
That's what I'm saying. So, it has to have the front of the ladder bar pitched down in order to be able to squat.
At least level up, pitch down.
You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I've never asked them about it. I don't know if they would ever tell me, but I would love to know.
Yeah.
Because their car works fucking good.
It does. But again, at 2,400 pounds, it's very easy to make it work that good.
That's a small block Ford deal, too.
Small block Ford deal. Yep.
You know anything about that thing? Oh, you do?
So Sam actually did all my Nitrous motors.
Back when your car was Nitrous.
Back when my car was Nitrous. He built all my motors. I had great success with him. I mean, we ran that car 4 or 5 years on Nitrous, and, I mean, it ran good. But we came to the point, like any small block car, you could only fit so much nitrous in the cylinder. Mm-hmm. So once you got over that 2,000, 3,000 pounds an hour, it just stopped picking up and just got finicky and started burning itself up.
Burning shit up.
Yep.
What was the combo when it was small block Ford Nitrous? Was it cannon valve or inline valve?
No, it was a TFS head, high port deal.
Yeah.
434, same thing, same cubic inch, almost the same short block. Just with a TFS on it, Edelbrock Super Victor, and just a single fogger on it.
Normal shit.
Normal shit. Yep. 850 stuff.
Was it a aluminum Shelby block in it?
Nope, it was cast iron dot block.
Yeah.
And I think we went 470 flat with that thing at like 149.
Grid
Grid, MSD grid, like old school
carburetors,
yeah, all the old school shit. And then here we are today, fuel tech, everything.
What made you switch though?
So I was planning on doing a boosted combo. So obviously the first person I called was Miller. I said, here's what my plan is. Here's what I want to do. And just like all of us, he said, I'd like to have fuel tech in the car. If I'm going to be tuning it, blah, blah, blah. So he set me up with the whole fuel tech system. My first one I ever wired. Dude, what a nightmare. But knock on wood, the car has been flawless. Just takes a lot of time to figure it out. And now that I've done a few, a lot easier. So yeah.
I don't think it's any harder than any other system.
Compared to a grid? Because that's all I've ever wired.
Well, hold on.
That point.
Okay, yeah, maybe compared to a grid with 4 wires.
With 4 wires.
Yeah, but I'm saying like I think most fuel injection is probably all similar as far as wiring.
Right, and then when I got bigger into the fuel injection, when I started opening the shop in 2019 and doing Holly and doing fuel tech and doing all the different ones, yes, now it's nothing.
Right.
We actually just wired Mike Straxter, who's here with me today at the dyno, all fuel tech, and knock on wood, the car's been flawless too.
Right.
And you learn a lot of things along the way. Like we were talking about today, where the grounds go, sensors playing different variables, how they're wired, 16 volt, 5 volt, just all different stuff. So I called Miller, told him what we were doing, and he said, I'd rather a turbo for right now, fuel tech, blah, blah, blah. So I had sent the car down to Tube Chassis Designs, which is John Sandoll. He did the whole car, and then when I got it back,
so when you went from Nitrous small block,
it was an 850 cage. We were going 470s with an 850 cage.
You were 850 cage with ladder bars.
Yep.
And then you were like, all right, fuck it, I'm going to go turbo.
Yep.
So you went, dude, you must have spent $100,000.
Nope.
No. How are you going to tell me no? Because you went from an 850 cage, iron block, inline head.
Oh, you're talking about the whole build?
Yeah. Going from one iteration of the car to the next iteration of the car. That's $100,000.
Yeah, easily. So let's talk about how crazy that went. So whatever, I got the chassis back. So my motor's at the Soma.
Yeah.
Now, first year using the Soma. So it's a Dart Iron Eagle. We're building this thing like this. Well, after working with Miller and Manny for a while, Manny says, you're going to break the block around 1900. Trust me, I've done it. I said, oh, shit. He says, I have a Shelby block sitting at Ant's. Call him up, tell him to put all your internals. So I call up Ant. The motor's done. I said, dude, you're going to kill me. I said, I just bought Manny's other Shelby block. Can we build that one? So he had to start all over, take everything out of one block, fit it all into that one. So right from the get-go, when we built the turbo, it had the Shelby block in it. And then I found these old school SC1 heads.
So wait, when DeSoma originally finished the motor with your iron block, it was iron block, still high ports.
Still high ports.
And you call them up, motor's done.
Yep.
And you're like, hey, switch the block to the Shelby aluminum.
Yep. And I got a set of SC1s that I found.
And on top of that, I'm going to do and on top of that, we're going to do a different top end.
Yeah. I mean, why not?
So you had him build 2 motors.
Pretty much.
Okay, so my $100,000 estimate is now out the window.
Pretty much.
Okay. So then you do 2 motors.
Yep.
And at the same time, do fuel tech. And at the same time, the car goes back to the chassis shop, goes from an 850
to a 25.3.
Dude, are we selling drugs?
Everybody.
Are we selling drugs?
I mean, it's horrible. People always say, like, what are you, out of your mind? But like you just said, we could be into way worse things.
Yeah.
My wife looks for me and it's, where is he? I'm either in the garage or at the shop. Right?
Yeah.
I'm not out at bars. I'm not gambling. I'm not blowing I'm blowing all our money, but at least we have something to show for it. At the end
I guess so. Yeah. I mean, we were joking off camera, right? Like, when we were all younger and there's Tommy Thrashers in the back and everything, right? Like we were like the kids that your parents warned you about, right? We were the loser gearheads, right?
Yep.
And then fast forward, right? Give it 20 years, let it marinate, right? All these all these people we were compared to, right?
Judged by.
You know what I mean? Now have gambling addictions, cocaine addictions. They're out fucking doing all this fucked up shit. And you know what we're doing?
Still playing with race
We're
cars.
still playing with fucking race cars, dude.
Yep.
So who's laughing now? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I went to school with a lot of people, and they got hooked on drugs from sports, and it was all from going to the parties.
Yep.
Well, everybody was partying. I was in my garage working on race cars.
Oh no, I was partying.
You were, yeah.
I was fucking partying too, but you know what? I was working on cars.
Yes. My dad got me into this when I was young. I mean, when I tell you young, he would put a bracelet on us at New England Dragway. I probably shouldn't even say this on camera. And put us in the car and just let us go race. Me and my brother. And we were not even legal to drive. We were 14 years old. And he started us. So I blame him for all this shit.
Yeah.
You know, now he's like, oh, you waste all your money on cars. I go, well, whose fault is that?
Yeah, you started
You
this.
started this shit. See what you turned me into?
Right.
But no, everything else is good. I mean, I love him. I love my dad for it, and I'm glad I do what I do.
Yeah. I don't have any reason why I'm into this shit.
I don't. There's a question. How did you get into this?
Dude, I don't even know, right? So, like, not to get too queer about it, right? But, you know, I was raised single mother, right? I have one full brother, but then I have two half brothers, right? Everybody in my family was all into sports. I don't know, man. I just love cars. You know, I was never interested in sports, which is weird because I don't know if you've never seen me, I'm 6'4". Right. So I think like everybody wanted me to like play basketball. I fucking hate basketball.
Man, you probably suck at it.
I do. I'm very white, dude. I suck at it. Right. So I don't know, man. I don't know where it came from.
Nope.
But my first car was an 86 Mustang.
Sick.
Yeah.
Yep. And then the Civics, yeah.
And then the Civics. But it was right around the same time. It was 2001. In 2001, I was like a sophomore in high school. Right? So that was like prime time.
And I was graduating high school.
Yeah.
Damn, you're a young little guy.
I mean, I graduated in 04.
Oh, so 3 years behind. All right.
Yeah. So what was I? Yeah. So I was like a freshman or a sophomore or whatever, right? And yeah, I don't even know how much influence that movie had on me, but yeah, I ended up in Civics. I hate to say it.
And now you're flying around, traveling, tuning, dynoing.
You know, it's been a wild ride, right? I got to be honest with you, dude. Like, you know, this whole thing started with me just like helping my buddies, right? Like after work and shit. And then it just got crazy. And now here I am. You know, getting annoyed that people are calling me to work on their fucking race cars. You know what I mean? Like it's just an insane position to have. And but dude, it's wild.
Yeah.
Like I've been able to provide, you know, houses and all of this stuff for my family, working on fucking Chevy 2s and Novas and Mustangs. It's just crazy.
And LSs.
Dude, don't even get me going. Yeah, LS is my favorite motor ever. You know, I'm really upset that you didn't break the small block record.
Well, you could blame UPS for that. It is sitting in Missouri, Dustin said.
Yeah.
Somewhere out there. So, I mean, I get it. The tornado storms are happening, so maybe it got hung up. But we'll be back. We'll break it.
Yeah, we need to break it because right now, John Walters, and I love him to death. He is one of my favorite human beings, but he holds a small block record at like 23 and change.
All right.
With an LS.
Well, wasn't it you today that was like, dude, are we done? Like, we're stopping at 2087 or something?
Yeah, well, you know, because I'm so smart, right? I saw the writing on the wall with the back pressure. No, I'm full of shit. Like I was saying at the beginning of the podcast, right? Like, I'm not a big kill it on the dyno guy.
No, and none of us are. And, you know, Miller's not either. He's here to get those AFRs and the EGTs stacked. Like, right. You know, you saw it. They look like one by the time he's done. That's what we use this for.
Right.
But, you know, if we could break a record here and there, I mean, we love breaking records.
Right.
So, you know, we'll probably come back and do it with the new AR.
Wait, did Carl Pritz break the record? I don't even know. I don't know. I got to ask Carl.
Who would it be between him and Manny Virginia?
Well, so Manny made 22 and change. Carl, I don't remember exactly, but he made 22. He was in that
Close to
realm.
23 somewhere.
But in my brain, I remember John Walters made like 2360 or something. And I do know for a period of time that was the record. So, but that was after Manny, but before Carl. So Carl was just here with his car. I don't know what it made. I don't think it did. I think no. It stripped the spark plug hole.
Oh, okay.
We stripped the spark plug hole and we had to end early. Like the first pull, it made like 2,100, and we were like, "Oh boy,
Yeah.
we're going for it." And then it stripped the spark plug hole on like the third pull.
So maybe the end of the season when we don't care, when the motor's going back to get freshened up, we'll come back and Miller always loves a good challenge. I love a good challenge. And
Yeah.
we'll send this thing.
I mean, we just got to wait for a nice rainy day, and that's what Carl did. We got rained out for LDR at Cecil, and he was just like, "Fuck it, I'm coming up."
Yeah.
And that's how we did it. So maybe we'll do that again. But all right, our food's here.
A nice steak dinner waiting for us.
We got a nice steak dinner, dude. I appreciate you coming on here. I know it's a short one, but give me a fucking break, right? No, I'm just joking. All right, dude. Thank you.
Anytime, Derek.
All right, later.
Later, bud.